It's okay. I'll be doing an interpretive dance of this presentation in a little while. Thank you very much for your patience. So again, I'm with the City of Victoria, and so pleased to be here today. So the City of Victoria is not able to move anything. Here we go, big picture. Okay, so as mentioned, safety is a key component of what we're thinking about as we move into the 21st century cities when it comes to road infrastructure. But of course, affordability is a major challenge here in the capital region, and we always are looking to really add the lens of how do we as a city make our infrastructure and our communities safer and more comfortable for vulnerable road users. And of course, many of you are familiar with this profile of many people in our communities are interested in cycling, but they're concerned about safety and they're concerned about riding with traffic. And when we look at the research out there of cities right across North America, both actual and perceived safety increases when you're building different kinds of infrastructure. Now, if you went to the City of Victoria in 1974, and in fact all the way up to 1995, we really had a decision and a policy decision that focused in on no bike routes downtown. And really, who would want to bike downtown? There's a lot of cars, people go fast, and it's just not comfortable. Well, from our perspective, we managed to have a major shift and change, just like many municipalities across BC and across the country. We take a 5E approach to looking at road safety on our streets. Of course, engineering is a critical component. We need to actually create safer and convenient places to walk, ride, and park. And that means changing the infrastructure we have on the ground and working collaboratively with our partners. But we also know that road safety is achieved through those softer E's: encouragement, education, enforcement, and evaluation. And the City of Victoria really recognizes that in order for us to be able to build our infrastructure, we need to have the supports that go with it to encourage and educate road users, but to work collaboratively with our partners at Island Health and Victoria Police to understand the patterns and what is happening on our roadways. The City of Victoria in 2015 undertook a network study called our Biketoria process. We looked at a whole bunch of factors right across our entire municipality, 85,000 people, 20 square kilometers. We looked at data around socioeconomic status, where development was happening, the destinations that people went to, but one of the most critical data points that we used to help inform our investments and our planning for networks was looking at safety, looking at where the collisions were, and pulling together information from Victoria Police and ICBC. We have sadly had a number of fatalities in our community, and the City of Victoria recognizes that we have a strong role in being able to change the way our city is designed and built and the way we allocate road space. So the City of Victoria has adopted a 32-kilometer network of all ages and abilities infrastructure. This network includes a variety of different types of infrastructure, like protected bike lanes that are physically protected in high volume and high speed locations like our downtown environment. It includes protection on corridors, but also protection at intersections. And this is achieved through a variety of different techniques, but really focused on providing that exclusive time and exclusive space for cyclists to feel more comfortable so that you're attracting riders of all ages and abilities. We also have shared routes and off-street paths as a part of our AAA network. And our goal is that we really want to be able to have our local streets with lower speed volumes and lower traffic volumes to be able to help create a neighborhood feel. For some people, they might say, I'm comfortable on some routes around my neighborhood, but not others. We really want to be able to connect every aspect where we have 32 kilometers right across our city connecting schools, destinations, parks, all with our downtown core. Now, working in engineering, we apply a number of technical design guidelines and streetscape standards to help inform our decision making. And I think what's one of the most important factors is we can have all of the manuals that we would like, and we can look at all of the design guidance that comes from around the world, across Canada, and even at the local level with neighboring jurisdictions. But we also recognize that data collection, site visits, looking at routing designations, and really relying on experience and observation of staff, of people on the street and users, as well as our police forces and our ambulance services that are around. Ultimately, we recognize that we have to factor in so much of what's happening in that local context to be able to apply design guidelines that help our organization plan, design, and implement safe cycling infrastructure. And I think what's really critical is that we've taken a really strong approach after developing our network to look at how we have an iterative process that really helps to bring together different partners along the way. So right when we're starting out, we sit down at the far end, our concept of review stage, with folks like Victoria Police, Victoria Fire, ICBC, BC Ambulance Services, even commercials trucking providers, to really look at what is this concept going to look like. And as we go through an entire process all the way to opening a facility, road safety has to be paramount. We've got to think about road safety from a design perspective of introducing this new infrastructure, but we also have to be thinking about it during construction and how we function as we're building these facilities, and then once they're open, how we're collecting data, using and evaluating their efficacy. So at the City of Victoria, I mentioned we have 32 kilometers that we've adopted in our long-term bicycle network. We are working right now on our phase 1 in our downtown core, which is about 5.4 kilometers in our busiest, most complex, and historical capital city. So it's not without its challenges, and we definitely take a complete streets lens, where the investments that we're making are truly not only for cycling safety, but to also enhance that pedestrian experience, to create better, more comfortable, and welcoming environments, to slow down vehicle traffic, and to still allow us to move people, goods, and services in a way that works for a city, but in a way that welcomes and encourages riders of all ages and abilities. Last year in Pandora Avenue, our first 1.2 kilometer two-way protected bike lane was opened up in May. And I just, the photo here down on the bottom right-hand corner was taken by one of the panelists in the conference. You can't set that kind of thing up. You don't get to see children cycling in a downtown core very often. The avenue has been now open for just over a year, and we've had more than 400,000 trips on the facility in 1 year. So it's an exciting opportunity for us to really see how it's already changed. And then just a couple of weeks ago, we opened our second parallel route, another east-west route on Fort Street. 1.2 kilometers in length, and again, a two-way protected cycle facility, already attracting and garnering lots of attention as we move into this space. The city has been approved, and we're investing in a variety of other kinds of infrastructure on notably Humboldt Street, where we're going to be continuing to add both protected bike lanes as well as shared road facilities, and really taking an opportunity to focus in on those critical aspects for our municipality of really addressing road safety. So I'll take a second to just show you to where that top photo on your left-hand side. This is actually just a few blocks away, over right at the corner of Douglas and Humboldt Street, right near our Victoria Conference Center. As a part of the project to build the AAA infrastructure, we're actually completely redesigning an intersection, going from a 5-legged intersection down to a normalized 4-leg, and creating a brand new pedestrian plaza. It will still facilitate emergency access for vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians, but it will really change and improve and dramatically reduce traffic volumes in that area. It's an exciting opportunity to really make a place in a city while providing an attractive and comfortable cycling facility. And also, we're applying things like advisory lanes and shared road spaces and new pedestrian amenities like crossings. On Wharf Street, which is a part of our Trans-Canada Trail, we're redesigning the entire streetscape to go from a 2-lane vehicle with parking on both sides, adding in a new 2-way protected facility on our waterfront side. It's a huge opportunity to make a great northwest connection and link to the new Johnson Street Bridge and the multi-use deck. Again, there's some really fantastic opportunities with these kinds of projects to enhance cyclist safety, but also pedestrian environment, realigning crosswalks to improve visibility, providing dedicated, more comfortable spaces for transit buses. People with visual impairments or mobility challenges can also be addressed. Ultimately, the city recognizes that we need to work in collaboration. We need our help of our law enforcement agencies. We need to work with ICBC. We need to really look with design professionals and with people from the community who have practical suggestions on how we can achieve this network, how we can achieve our goals, and how we can really create the downtown and vibrant atmosphere that the City of Victoria wants to be. As a capital city, as one here in the 13 municipalities in the region, we've been playing, I think, a very strong leadership role to really take the policies that we have in our official community plan and transition those, build on them, create the network, and actually implement it. It's hard work, and there's a lot of people that are involved, but the city recognizes we need to do it together, and we need to have a little bit of fun while we're doing it. This is a gal who just got for the first time out on Fort Street a couple of weeks ago. And it's just such an example, I think, of what we're trying to achieve when we're talking about downtown spaces in municipalities where you're creating safe and comfortable environments for vulnerable road users like this little girl. So thanks very much for having me. I look forward to the conversation.